Child, let me tell you, the fashion world has officially had it with Meghan Markle. Oh yes, the gloves are off, and the whispers that used to float quietly around glossy magazine offices. They've turned into loud, scandalous chatter that's echoing from London to Los Angeles. For years, people murmured that the Duchess of Sussex had a little too much fondness for the designer pieces she borrowed. But now those murmurs have exploded into accusations that make even Hollywood's wildest divas blush. Picture it. Meghan shining on your screen, flawless as ever, wrapped in that emerald green Galvan USA one-shoulder gown for her Netflix holiday promo. Gorgeous, right? But honey, that same dazzling dress might just be the smoking gun in what insiders are calling the boldest case of celebrity kleptomania they've ever seen. Because according to multiple fashion folks, that $1,695 gown, it was never hers to keep. They claim it was the very same dress she forgot to return after her Variety magazine cover shoot back in 2022. And not just for a week or two, no ma'am, 3 whole years before she wore it again for the world to see, like she was daring anyone to say a word. But that's just the beginning. Fashion insiders aren't calling this a one-off. They say it's a pattern. Oh, a habit, stretching across shoots, red carpets, royal tours, even jewelry boxes. They paint the picture of a woman who plays by her own rules, who allegedly believes that once a gown brushes her royal skin, it becomes her divine property. We're talking shoes, diamonds, couture worth tens of thousands, pieces that should have been returned to the designers, but instead, according to whispers, found a cozy home inside that Montecito mansion of hers. And the gall of it. If these allegations are even half true, Meghan didn't just tuck the things away quietly. No, she strutted right back out in them. On Netflix, at royal events, everywhere cameras flash. As if to say, yes, darling, I kept it. What are you going to do about it? It's one thing to forget a borrowed bracelet, it's another to flaunt it for millions. Now rewind the tape to October 2022, the Variety cover shoot. That was supposed to be her big comeback, the glossy redemption arc. She looked stunning in that same emerald Galvan gown. Photographers adored her. But when the lights dimmed and everyone started packing up, something wasn't adding up behind the scenes. Fashion journalist Vanessa, yes, that Vanessa, went on Andrew Gold's Heretics podcast earlier this year and dropped a bombshell. She claimed people present at the shoot told her Meghan didn't just leave with memories. She left with bags of borrowed treasures that somehow never made it back to their rightful owners. Not just the dress, multiple items that had been loaned, cataloged, insured. Let me explain how these things work, sugar. When you're a celebrity doing a major shoot, the stylists bring in racks of gowns, shoes, handbags, jewelry, every single piece tagged and logged. Because none of it belongs to the star. It's all borrowed, all supposed to go back once the cameras stop. But when Meghan's shoot wrapped, certain items, gone. Vanished. Staff noticed immediately, assuming maybe her team was negotiating to buy or gift them. That happens sometimes. Except, according to the designers, no payments ever came, no permissions were granted, and the pieces never returned. Fast forward 3 years. That same Galvan gown pops up again, on Meghan, in a Netflix promo. Identical cut, identical drape. You didn't need CSI to see it was the same dress. The proof was hanging right there on her shoulder. But oh, this wasn't her first rodeo. The whispers go all the way back to 2017, before she even became the Duchess. Royal biographer Tom Bower spilled it in his book, Revenge. During a Reitman's photo shoot, long before the wedding, a pair of Aqua Zura Matilda gold crisscross heels worth around $845 mysteriously disappeared. Not just misplaced, gone, staff searched everywhere. Yet those same glittering heels later appeared on Meghan's own feet at major public events. Royal watcher sleuths matched the straps and heel pattern perfectly. Can you imagine? Wearing the very shoes that allegedly went missing from a shoot? Bold doesn't even begin to cover it. And it didn't stop there. Another pair, nude suede Aquazura sexy thing heels, reportedly vanished the same day. 2 pairs gone, both later spotted at events and engagements, as if they'd always been part of her wardrobe. The fashion bloggers went wild comparing photos, and darling, the match was uncanny. When Meghan married into the royal family, everyone assumed this sort of talk would end. After all, she now had access to diamonds, crowns, palaces. Why would she need to keep borrowed things? But according to insiders, the habit allegedly continued, only now with even pricier stakes. During the 2018 New Zealand tour, she stunned the world in a dramatic Givenchy black cape gown. Everyone swooned. Yet, behind closed doors, whispers began. That breathtaking couture was a loaner too, and rumor says never returned. Givenchy never commented, which some found even more telling. Then came the pièce de résistance, the $75,000 Ralph and Russo couture gown from the official engagement portraits. Sources claim it too was never sent back. And then there's the jewelry. Multiple pieces from Burke's Jewelry, loaned for the 2018 to 2019 royal tours. Allegedly forgotten to be returned. That's the polite word insiders use. years. Forgotten. Not stolen, not kept, just quietly unsent back until people stopped asking. By now, fashion insiders say the pattern was impossible to ignore. Shoes, dresses, diamonds, all allegedly lost in transit but later twinkling in Meghan's public photos. And child, the industry's patience snapped. Radar Online finally broke the silence with a blistering expose quoting multiple stylists who'd had enough. According to one insider, she's not stealing, but she doesn't follow normal return rules. Another called it Meghan time, meaning if something was due Tuesday, it might come back 3 Tuesdays later. Imagine the chaos that causes when designers need those same samples for other shoots. Some fashion houses even built a Meghan buffer into their schedules, adding extra weeks because they knew her returns would be late. Others quietly stopped lending to her altogether. In an industry ruled by precision, where every piece must rotate between shoots and red carpets, that's a nightmare. When an item stays stuck in Montecito, other celebs can't wear it, magazines miss deadlines, and brands lose money. But the most infuriating part? Meghan doesn't hide the stuff. If the allegations are true, she wears the pieces publicly, as if daring anyone to call her out. That's what really has designers fuming. Now you might wonder, why hasn't anyone sued? Why no legal action? No police reports? Honey, it's politics and fear. These fashion houses know her fan base is massive. Calling her out could bring online mobs, boycotts, bad PR. Some quietly hope the items just reappear or get purchased later. Others would rather blacklist her privately than make a scene. After all, in high fashion, screaming about missing gowns is considered tacky. But the timing couldn't be worse for Meghan. She's fighting tooth and nail to rebuild her image, launch her American Riviera Orchard brand, and cozy up to Hollywood royalty. Yet here comes the fashion world exposing her alleged sticky fingers. The fallout? Oh, it's already showing. First, the Kardashians, her dream inner circle, want nothing to do with her. Insiders whisper they've politely but firmly kept their distance, declining invites and steering clear of any collaborations. Now, with the theft chatter spreading, that door is firmly bolted shut. The Kardashians love drama, sure, but not this kind. Then came the party where she was photographed flashing those flirtatious eyes at Jeff Bezos himself. Chile, that sent the internet into meltdown. Folks said she was trying to charm the billionaire into backing her failing brand. His partner Lauren Sanchez, reportedly furious. And who could blame her? The optics were bad, real bad. And just when Meghan thought Netflix would be her safety net, that alliance crumbled too. Netflix launched their new retail venture, Netflix House, selling merchandise from all their big shows, Bridgerton, Squid Game, you name it. Guess what's missing from those shelves? Anything labeled American Riviera Orchard. Not a single jar of jam, not a single candle. The ultimate snub. And the cruel twist? Bridgerton products are being made in the very same factory that manufactures her brand's goods. Netflix chose to sell theirs and leave hers out completely. Tom Sykes even exposed how Meghan's team tried spinning it, claiming her brand was always meant to be online only. But he called her bluff, pointing to her own comments about pursuing retail partnerships. The timing couldn't be worse, her reputation melting faster than butter in the California sun. And then, as if fate wanted to add a little comedy to the chaos, Harper's Bazaar released a December cover story meant to praise her. And instead, it accidentally mocked her. The journalist described how Meghan demanded formal introductions even when there were only 2 people in the room. Can you imagine? Somebody announcing, "The Duchess of Sussex is here," just so she could enter dramatically. At a school event, no less. Even working royals don't pull that nonsense anymore. Royal commentators had a field day. She rejected royal duty, they said, but she still wants royal treatment. And honestly, it ties right back to the allegations. Because someone who insists on a grand entrance to talk to schoolgirls probably does think a borrowed gown is hers by destiny. The Harper's Bazaar piece went on about how brave she was for selling jam, calling herself a founder over and over, comparing her brand to actual entrepreneurs. Darling, people couldn't stop laughing. The article read like satire without meaning to. The golf cart arrivals, the announcements, the endless self-praise. It showed a woman so wrapped up in her own fantasy that returning a dress probably feels beneath her. Now here we are, watching the walls close in on Meghan's Hollywood empire. The fashion scandal, the failed friendships, the business snubs, it's all snowballing. The National Enquirer just plastered a headline screaming, "Famous friends cut her off. 23 staffers quit. Even Harry has had enough." And honestly, you don't need to be psychic to see the pattern. 23 staff members reportedly walked out in just a few months. That's not normal turnover, that's a stampede. Former aides describe her as impossible, demanding, a perfectionist who never says thank you. Words like bullying, float around quietly. And now, after all that, the theft stories pile on top, making folks wonder what else ex-employees saw but never dared to share. Even her once golden Hollywood ties are fading fast. Oprah, who handed her the biggest PR stage of her life, has noticeably backed away. The celebrity friends she counted on? Silent. The invitations that used to flow? Dry as the Sahara. No one wants their brand tangled in the endless storms surrounding Meghan and Harry. Meanwhile, fashion insiders are watching like hawks. Some hope this public embarrassment will force accountability. Others think she'll skate by again, cushioned by fame and followers. But one thing's certain, no designer will ever lend her anything without ironclad contracts again. That Meghan buffer time has become standard policy, and honey, that's as humiliating as it gets in the couture world. And when you zoom out, this isn't just about dresses or shoes, it's about a pattern. This unstoppable belief that rules don't apply to her. The stolen gown whispers, the staff walkouts, the brand failures, the social circle rejections, they're all parts of one big portrait, entitlement painted in royal blue and Hollywood gold. The real question now, what else is hiding behind those Montecito gates? If the stories about missing couture are true, imagine what other secrets that closet holds. Designers quietly keep lists? Oh yes, they do. Itemized, dated, and waiting for the day someone finally demands answers. So as the cameras flash and the Netflix deals dry up, Meghan keeps smiling that polished smile. But behind it, insiders say the panic is setting in. Because the fashion world has long memories and sharper tongues. And while you can spin a story for a tabloid, you can't sweet-talk a designer who's out thousands of dollars. It's poetic, really. The woman who once dazzled the world in borrowed gowns may now find herself shut out by the very industry that helped build her image. The sparkle's still there on the outside, but behind it, cracks. Big ones. So here we sit, sipping our tea, watching a tale that started with fairy tale dresses and royal dreams unravel into a scandal of missing sequins and bruised egos. Maybe more revelations will spill out. Maybe someone will finally break the silence. But until then, the fashion world's message is clear. The loans are closed, the closets are locked, and the era of Meghan's borrowed glamour might just be over.